dangerous mode, not gonna lie.
All right, so basically, we're in the gym, right? And I'm gonna basically give you examples or ideas how you can basically start your gym training, for example, and not have to worry about other people watching you, if that makes sense. And you see all of this, right? You see this small section here? I'm gonna show you that you can come into the gym, make the gains happen, and do what you need to do. Of course, video description below. You of course live to make history. Why? Because you and I have one space in time. So this book is, again, video description below. I'm gonna open the book, for example. You walk into the gym, you don't feel confident, right? Because you think everyone's watching you. And let me tell you one thing, no one's watching you. You need to understand that it's a thing where it's all in your mind, right? You walk into the gym, everyone's trying to focus and trying to better themselves, right? So this section, all you need, I'm just going to give you an example. I didn't need to walk around and go everywhere into the gym. I'm just going to show you this section, how you can just walk in and just elevate, right? We're only going to use this section because obviously out of respect, I'm not going to film other people who are training, do you know what I mean? And in this book, there's a part in the chapter that says, for you to see change, you have to be the change you want to see. And for you to be the change you want to see, you need to go back and see that change. So walking in, obviously, what do we need to do? We need to warm up the body, right? So let's just say you have just this section here. I want to show you how, just to make it happen, you have just this little section here. What are you going to do? Warm up, walk onto a treadmill, for example, or you can just do dynamic type of stretching, which allows you to warm up the body in a certain way where your heart rate stays up. Static is simple, dynamic is up. Up basically means you're warming up in a way where you are increasing your heart rate and you're able to exercise. So again, I'm not going to leave this area because obviously people are training and I'm in a hotel gym. So you want to first, it says here, you warm up, get some water into the system, get the heart rate elevated, and of course, then you warm up the body, right? Gains anywhere and everywhere. So you warm up the body, either use a treadmill, or you can do static type stretching. So I'm not sure what you can see on the camera here, but I'm going to give you an example of a static type stretching. Dynamic type stretching. So for example, if I'm sitting like this, right? And let's just say we're working on shoulders today, and I'm doing this, that's obviously static because I'm frozen in time, right? But if I'm doing this, stretching it in there, bringing it back down, going straight into the other elbow, it's dynamic. And the reason why it's dynamic because we're stretching with movement. We're trying to mobilize the body so it's warm and it's able to start the main activity. So you do dynamic type stretching. So let's just say I want to focus on full body. I want to stretch the movement, for example. So full body stretches just to get our heart rate elevated, even running on the spot, anything to get the heart rate elevated in a way when you are not getting any type of injury, right? And that's what you need to do. Try to keep it really simple. I would really love to show you exercises, but obviously, again, I can't. I mean, like treadmill as an example because people are using certain stuff. It's a very, very tight gym. So, yeah, that's all you need. You need to go out there and you need to obviously make it happen. It's literally not that hard. I always say the same thing. So, static type stretching, full body, legs, glutes, upper body, everywhere. Just stretching with movement. And then, for example, let's just say, oh, you want to come into the gym and you want to lift some kind of weights. And you're thinking, oh, where am I going to start lifting the weights? I'm going to give you a quick example. 12.5, right? Just 12.5 kgs. You're in the gym, right? You're thinking, oh, everyone's watching me. Everywhere's packed. But you want to do a full body workout, right? Without actually having to move. So I'm going to give you a quick example. On the chapter here as well, it says, you always want to plan ahead, but sometimes when you do plan, things change. Again, when you walk into a gym and it's packed, for example, your plan might change. Or you want to use another equipment, for example, and somebody's using your equipment. It might change. CHANGE. So what you need to do, think ahead. Okay, what can I do to still manipulate muscle growth where the muscle's still kind of working? So let's just say, for example, again, we're working the biceps. The gym is packed. You can't use a certain machine. What do you need to do? Think ahead. You're thinking ahead, right? Okay, I'm going to grab a dumbbell. I'm going to go to the quiet section of the gym where no one can see me, so I can focus on me, zoned out, and then just pick up the dumbbell. Okay, cool. I want to work on what? Biceps. We're going to do isolation, or you can just do it together. So, for example, I'm in the gym, right? I want to work biceps. Imagine I'm standing up, because obviously, again, I'm not sure what you can see from the camera because I'm not too far away. And we keep this very, very simple, very, very basic. Let's just say you're standing up, for example, or you can even do kneeling curls after you've warmed up, after you've done your re-warm, and after when you're in your main activity. So, I don't know, just keeping it really simple. Bring the bar down, for example. And we're just going to go straight into simple hammer curls. But of course, finding a weight that works for you. So you're going to curl it, keeping it really simple. But of course, you're going to be standing up. Reps, sets, etc., depending on what you can go for. So again, 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets, and then you move on. And again, you're thinking of intensity, you're thinking of how to control the weight. So I'm going to give you one example. Okay, so hammer curls, straight into it. 1, 2, tres. Keep going. 5, speaking in Spanish now. 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 9, and then we go straight into a 10. Again, rep range, 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets. Rest for about 2 to 3 minutes and go straight into it again. Your focus is more on just that consistency. You want to show up. Every time you come into the gym, you want to make sure that you're able to show up. Does that make sense? Every time you enter the gym, it's not about trying to get as much as possible in that session. You're trying to stay consistent for however long you're training for, whether it's a month, 2 months, 3 months. You want to stay consistent. Sorry, so do you want to use the 12? Sorry, you're looking for the 12s?
Oh, you know what?
Okay, cool. You want to try and stay consistent, whatever you decide, whatever you try to do in the gym. Does that make sense? So let's just say you rested once, you've done that set, you want to move on, you want to still work on the biceps, the gym is packed. You don't know where to look, you're looking left and right, the gym is just packed, right? You're going to stay in a section, we're not moving, we're here. Okay, so pick up the weight. Exactly the same thing I've done before, right? The hammer curls, right? Imagine I'm standing up or kneeling. Exactly the same thing I've done before, but we're going to slow it down. Same thing you're doing. Okay, again, I don't have much space. This is what I'm trying to say. When life throws you something, you just make it happen. Okay? So, same thing in that position. Imagine I'm standing up, like there. I'm going to drop the weight, or even keep the same weight, but I'm going to slow it down. Instantly, mechanical load. Instantly, time under tension. Instantly, gravity is working against me because I'm slowing it. See, I'm slowing it down. Look at that. 1. Take it down. Up. 2, slow it down. Bring it back up again. That's it. 3. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Focus on that eccentric contraction. Take it up. 4. It's that simple. Take it up. 5. Breathe in through your nose. You're working with me. 6. 7. Slow it down. Chest out, back straight. 8. You can see the muscles are contracting. Time under tension. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Go through the set. Take it up. 9. One more. Hold it. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Making history, baby. Bring it down. And again, that's an example of exercise 2. And it's the same thing. Let's just say you want to work on your shoulders. You want to work on your chest. Anything that you want to work on, you can literally make it happen. You don't need so much equipment. Again, I'm going to give you another example. We're going to do legs. on the barbell, just to make it really simple for you so you can understand where I'm coming from with this. Same thing I always say again, you don't always necessarily need to use the barbell because it's very advanced. For people who are just starting lifting, you can literally just use the dumbbell. You can literally just use the dumbbell, or you can use the smaller bars, which is a lot easier for somebody starting out. So I'm going to give you a quick example. Again, I'm an old school guy, right? I start training the old school way. So we do the old school kind of training, the bodybuilding stuff, etc., etc. That's how we build the muscle. And I wrote it here in this book. It says it here. I memorized most of the chapters. Sometimes less is more. Just focusing on building the muscle, less is more. As I always say, we tend to overthink things now in this generation, where you just need to think simplicity. Less is more. But again, you don't have to do squats because some people have lower back pain, lower knees. That's a video for another day. I'm just giving you an example. You want to take it under the squat and you want to squat into it. Obviously, that's squat very, very deep, full range of motion. And again, squats, again, is working a full range. Again, you're just doing 2 to 3 sets and then you're just moving on. It's the thing I always say. This is very unrealistic, by the way. You don't have to use 15s. I just need to put some kind of weight on there. Usually I squat this way, but because obviously the camera's to it this way, I'm going to squat this way. Chest out, back straight. Sit into it. Again, how to squat is going to be obviously on a different video, right? So you're going to pick it up. Brace your core. Again, we're made for squats, baby. Every single day. Sit into it. And just hold it into that position, and obviously you just drive yourself up. Literally that simple. You drive down to the squat and take it up. Think of it as, for example, you're going underwater. So you can either be parallel or sit into it. Again, parallel or sit into it. Like you're just going underwater and you just drive yourself up. Take it back. Bring it back slowly and boom. So again, squats is great because obviously it's full range. You're working the legs, you're working the lower back, you're working the core, you're working the chest, you're working the upper back. Like you can feel me, you get out of breath. So this is why this is a really good exercise. But again, if you don't want to do any of that, you can just keep it really simple. We can just use dumbbells, for example. You can literally just use the dumbbells on the side, pick it up. I would use really light dumbbells, so you can see what I mean. We can just use the same thing with the 5s. We can bring it right in front of us. We can go into a squat because you don't want to squat. You don't want to load your back, and that's okay. And you can just bring it up. You can bring it right in front of over here, over your head. You can seriously still squat into it and take it up. Training is really. I know I'm trying to make this as simple. Let me just sit down real quickly. So I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. There's so much things I'm doing, but I'm trying to make this really simple for you to come into the gym and just make it happen. Like I really have liked to, I've showed you, like going onto a treadmill, warming up for 5 to 10 minutes, then going into maybe a lighter load, depending on what you're doing. Let's just say, I don't know, you want to train, you're looking just to burn calories. We could have just slowly got on the bike. But again, there is no bike here. Or you could have slowly, but again, videos are coming soon. It's showing you from the treadmill going into a training session. Do you know what I mean? And most people who are obviously watching this are not really looking for bodybuilder splits. A chest day, a leg day, a back day, a shoulder day, with me, a hamstring day, a glutes day, a tricep day. Do you know what I mean? Everyone is a bit different. So I would rather just do, if you was coming into the gym and starting out for the first time, if I'm being totally honest with you, I will just start with doing a full body. When I mean doing a full body, I kind of mean you're doing the chest and you're doing, you're doing the chest and then you're doing, for example, we're going to do chest today, we're going to do shoulders because chest and shoulders are quite similar in a way. For example, they always say when you're training chest, they want to train shoulders because they do kind of work with each other. This is why I'd always say with guys, when we're training shoulders, don't always do the anterior because it gets a lot of the development, which is true. But anyways, chest, shoulders, and for example, maybe a tricep. That's a good day. You got 3 into one, then you could do maybe back. You could do biceps, and maybe you can even do legs even. Or one thing I used to love doing when I first started out training back in the day, I would do shoulders, legs, and a bit of arms. So I'll give you an example. For example, should I do old school or should we do new school? Let's take it up. Let's take it up old school. So for example, I would, again, you don't have to do this. This is just an example. Take it back. Bring this forward just to make this adjustment. Usually you would use clips as well. So this is safe. But again, I'm just giving you a rough example. So what I used to do, I used to squat. Again, you don't have to squat because it may hurt your knees, etc. Everyone's different. I'm just giving you the description, like the natural way you can do it. You can go into a squat, for example, and then we go into like a mini overhead. So you're working the legs. Obviously, squats works everywhere, but you're going to be working the legs, and you're going to still predominantly be working the upper body as well. Yeah, you just have to kind of find what works for you. So I'm going to give an example of how I would train. But you don't, again, I'm going to keep saying this because some people don't listen. You don't have to do the barbell. You can work your way up to using a barbell. Does that make sense? You work your way up to doing a barbell, and then you can just use the barbell on its own. But again, great benefits. So I want to face it this way because obviously the camera's facing me. Otherwise, I would have usually gone that way. Chest out, back straight. Pick it up. Find your balance. Find your balance. Sit. Take a deep breath in. Sit. Boom. Right? I just done something wrong. Couldn't say you used to squat in old school way. I forgot that I'm going to take it above my head. Okay, let's do it again. So sit. Overhead. Does that make sense? So squat. Overhead. Does that make sense? Kind of. Again, I am, what's that word? You don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I would kind of train, but I'm trying to say if you was coming to the gym for the first time, you can literally just use dumbbells. And one of the best things about training, you're training for your older years, right? So when you're older, you're able to function. You're able to move. You're not training just to build muscle, you're training for your older years. So you're independent, you're not in a nursing home, you're doing your own thing yourself. Does that make sense? That's why I train anyway. Training to look good is great. But obviously I'm training for my older years. I don't want someone to be wiping my ass. I want to be in control of my life. Like I look at my parents, I look at my grandparents, 60, 70, in control of their lives. Does that make sense? So you're training for your older years, you want to be functional. I know as I get older as well, the weight's going to drop. The weight's going to drop a bit. And then I'm going to focus more on the full body because obviously that's what I'm built for. I love full body exercises. So yeah, you just have to make it happen. And in this chapter as well, I say it every time. And I'm going to keep saying the same thing, choice to change. To see change, you have to be the change you want to see. For you to be the change you want to see, you need to go back and see the change. But yes, when there's more time, I'll kind of do more descriptive videos so you kind of understand the specific muscles that you're looking to work on when you're training and how to attack it. But I'm just trying to think of you just coming into the gym for the first time. How would you just start? And I always want to say, don't worry about what other people are thinking. Everyone's always worrying about, oh, he's watching me. Sorry to burst it to you, nobody, I need to tell you this very, very clearly. Very, very specifically, nobody gives an F about you. Everyone's trying to maintain their gains. Everyone's trying to work. Everyone's trying to grind. Everyone's trying to do what they need to do to get in and get out. Even me recording, maybe inconvenience for other people, but I'm trying to give you an example. People trying to get their stuff, train, and then get out. That's it. Keeping it really, really simple. And that's literally how you train, and that's literally how you make it happen. So, yeah, whether it's upper body, lower body, find ways for you to still train, even if it's just full body. It's just about showing up and being in the moment. And it's literally that simple. So yeah, choice to change. One thing I will say to people as well, make sure you put your weights back. Because the thing where people always forget to put their weights back. You just always do the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick example of you've entered the gym and you're kind of doing a full, You're kind of doing a full body routine and you want to try and just make it as quick as possible. You want to be in and you want to be out of the gym. So I'm going to just give you a quick example of what you can do. 1 second. Let me just make sure this is correct first. Pairing weights together. Oh yeah, so where were we? Okay, so you're pairing exercises together, right? You're in the gym. You don't have much space to use and you want to try and get in and out as quick as possible. My thing would be to pair muscles. We're not going to go too in detail, quick in and out. So for example, if I was in the gym right now and I was training and I was in this position, I'd get some light dumbbells, right? Get some light dumbbells and I'll do overhead press, right? And overhead press, which is basically an exercise when you go over your head, over. I don't even need to give an exercise description. I'm doing overhead press and then I'd superset. Superset is basically going to another exercise as quick as possible. I would superset shoulders with an incline, either incline chest, or I'd go into the cables like this, bring it into a fly movement. So I'd take it up. So I take the cables up and I'd go into a fly movement because I'm working the chest, or I'd go into a incline bench. Why? Because it's a compound lift. And why am I doing compound lifts? Because I'm trying to recruit more muscle fibers and of course build the muscle. And again, think your older years. You're training for your older years, right? So you're able to still function. And remember, muscle memory that comes from years and years of training, right? The body remembers certain things, so it can't become bad at it. I remember motor neurons and motor function. If I'm doing this, for example, or I'm even just a normal sit down, things that you tend to overlook because if you train, you just overlook it because you're used to it. The body depends. As you get older, you lose certain functions, and this is what the gym allows you to do. It allows you to still able to grasp the function and still able to be mobile. So I'm trying to say. So anyway, shoulders into a flying kind of movement. Again, 8 to 12 reps. 8 to 12 reps. And I might finish maybe with a tricep. But for now, I might stay with a superset, then move on. Does that make sense? I do 2 exercises, and then I'd rest, but I do it to 2 to 3 times. So sets and reps are different. Reps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's reps. Sets is how many in total. So if I just do 12 of these, 12 of those, that's one entire super set. 2 exercises, back, 2, back, and then that's 1 set. And then I do it again 2 or 3 times. Again, if I don't have time or there's too much things going on around this whole entire gym, I probably would increase the volume. Again, volume training is very important because you're still working. The muscles, the body doesn't know what different exercises are. It's just thinking, how am I going to stress the muscles in a positive way where it's able to grow back bigger, better, and stronger. And again, it's the same thing for chest, something for abs, back, legs. I usually just do it with another muscle, that makes sense. So I'm able to still work more than one muscle group at a time and burn more calories in a shorter space of time. And it's literally that simple. There's literally no hack. There's nothing, there's no look around. I'm looking around. There's literally no secret to building the physique you want. You just have to be consistent over a duration of time. It's literally that simple. Whether you're doing chest again, shoulders, if you're doing the cables, if you're doing the squats, if you're doing the machines, if you're doing body weight, whatever you decide to do, please just come into the gym and make it happen. But whatever you do decide to do, be the change you've always wanted to see. Why? Because you and I have one space and time. And I keep saying this as well, free planning by a choice to change. But again, it's literally that simple. I hope I made this as simple and as basic. So that when you decided to pull yourself into the training facility, you don't ever feel nervous, you don't ever feel thrown off. You just walk in and you just do your thing, because nobody gives a what? Nobody gives an F No one gives an F about you. Everyone's grinding, doing their own thing. Everyone's trying to better their own lives. Everyone's trying to better their own health and fitness. And that's what it's literally that simple. I say this every time. So you want to come in, you want to dive in, you just want to make it happen. It's literally that simple. If I made it as simple and as basic as possible. Anyways, let's go out there and let's live to make history. Why? Because you and I have one space and time. We have one life.
If I tell you to humble yourself, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. If I tell you again to humble yourself, this is what I mean. This is why you should train legs. This is why you need to train. Look at that. This is real. You gotta make the gains happen to see change. It's about the sculpt and the shape. You see change, you have to be the change you want to see. We live to make history today.